Hey, welcome back. We have a pen here today, and I think this may be the first unboxing of its type. I don't think I've seen another review on this one. This was something I've been watching on Reddit, from Tonkerdo, Ethan here. So let's, first of all, nice box, a little different than what we're used to. And let's get into it and see what we think. A little note from the seller. Thank you for your patronage. And then this is called the Clunk. Kind of a fun little name there. Let's get into it. And ooh, look, I haven't seen someone else using this box aside from Confounded Machines, so that's already a plus. All right, a little thicker than I thought it was going to be in the pictures. It must be about a 0.4. Let's take a look. Yep, 0.4 inch diameter. A little bit of a rattle in it. Nice little click. Almost no tip wiggle, so that's nice. It looks like we got a G2 size here. This is made of aluminum, 6061 aluminum. We have a G2 refill. Oh, interesting. Oh, very interesting how this mechanism works. So this whole thing comes out and comes apart. This looks like it would last a very long time. Look at that. You know, because there's a lot of ways of doing a click pen. That is crazy simple. I'm always impressed with the engineering minds and how they come up with stuff. But I had seen he did like a CAD or like a 3D kind of drawing or whatever of this thing. And I started watching and saw he posted that he was starting to sell them on the website. And I reached out and I said, hey, I'd love to do a review of it and see what we think. It looks like it might be a custom spring here, but let's get some of this stuff out of the way and put this pen back together, which I just honestly, like, one of the things I'm liking right away is the fact that these parts are so simple. I just saw the other day someone was announcing a new pen and they were talking about how they wanted to have as few parts as possible, and that came out to 8 parts. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you include the refill or the spring, maybe 6. So basically 4 parts plus refill and spring. That is very simple and really nice to see, because that's how you make things that last a long time. So I like this. This is definitely different than what I'm used to seeing in the market. So let's see if we can put this back together as easily as it came apart. Now, the only thing that looks like we'll have to make sure we do right here is to put this in the correct direction. I'm going to guess that that direction is this way, but I could be wrong. Looks like I might be right. Looks like that goes together pretty nicely. And then we'll put this guy in here, the refill. We'll put this whole thing back together and see if we messed it up. Whoop, sorry, first time, total noob. Okay. And I did it. Interesting. So this can spin. Still got that little rattle. I wonder what is causing the rattle in there. So there's no rattle under pressure. Okay, once it's under pressure, there's no rattle. So is the rattle, that's not moving. It's under pressure here. So I wonder what that is. Maybe this little piece here that rattles around in there. I think that's what's rattling. But you'd think that with that under pressure, that wouldn't rattle. So it must be, yeah, it must be the brass piece. It has to be, right? Because, well, I guess under pressure it doesn't, but yeah, when it's deployed, it doesn't rattle. So you wouldn't feel that when you're like writing or whatever. Now, you don't have a pocket clip. Some people love that, some people don't. A lot like an Otmog, so let me pull out like an Otmog here. Boom-a-dee boom, right? Very similar in a lot of ways to like an Otmog 40. Let me actually grab an Otmog 40 to compare this. It looks like it's actually a bit of a longer pen because you do have that bobber on the top there. So this is not like a super short pen. Close. I keep grabbing 36s. This is what happens when you have a lot of pens. There we go. There's an Otmog 40. So the Otmog's a little shorter than this. And then how about a Tactile is another good top clicker click pen to compare. And it's actually a little shorter than a full-size Tactile. So let's get these kind of lined up by length. Then you can compare them. So it says on the website here 5.6 inches, which is a slight bit shorter than the Tactile and a slight bit longer than the Otmog and the 40. And I can confirm that is indeed the length. Now the Tactile, no sound. And the fun side click mech. The Otmog, also technically, I guess you could say a side click mech. No sound. So we do have that little bit of sound. It'd be nice if there was a way to engineer that out of there. But aside from that, let's take a look at writing with the pen. I just took that off there, and I told myself I was going to not make the mistake of doing another pen unboxing without a notepad to write in, and lo and behold, I've done it once again. So let me pull out a notepad I can write on. And here we go. Very, very minimal on the tip wiggle, if any. Very minimal. Feels good. It has a bit of that aluminum sound to it. I'd love to see this in a titanium for multiple reasons. He did anodize it, so that toughens it up a little bit. It would probably make it a little more resilient. The finish is just a very, very minor, like tactile finish on it. It's pretty satiny, I would say, like overall. Let's see if I can zoom in on that for you. Whether I have good enough lighting to show you the finish on there. But basically a satin-like finish with like just a very minor turn line on it. One thing I like about this design, there's no seam up in the front of the pen. So where you're grabbing it and stuff, you're not going to feel something extra. The only seam is back here where the mechanism is, which is expected. So to have that one-piece design is really cool. Now it's a bit loud when you go to take that apart, but overall, I have to say I like the design. It's radically simple. And I'm really enjoying just this concept of how this is put together. So if we think about what's happening when we press here, that's really cool. I wonder how he came up with this. So I don't know if you can see that, but you can actually see it rotate in there. Let me zoom in more. And hopefully you can really enjoy this by checking it out. That's very clever. And I love this kind of thing. I think of like the Aerocrafted as another one where it's just so simple and pneumatic and there's nothing really that can break, as making for a really good long-lasting design. The brass makes it nice and smooth, but as you push up, you basically are going to, I guess, this pushes up, and I'm not 100% sure what happens, to be honest, but basically this has to rotate in here for it to stay out or stay in. So cool. I really like this. This is it's a fun mechanism, very clever. I'm just very curious how people come up with these one-off designs that you've never really seen. Maybe this person had seen this type of mechanism before, or maybe they came up with it on their own. But if you want to learn more, there's some more posting about it. Tonkerdo, Tonkerdo, on Reddit. He or she made some posts. Let me actually see here. I can probably tell pretty quickly if this is a he or a she, and maybe I can't. Oh yeah, Ethan, right? Ethan, he, or whatever, we can all have our preferences or whatever. I don't know what the right term is to use here, but made this, and yeah, I'd be really curious to hear a bit more about the background on how the engineering idea came to be, because not a lot of mechanisms where you can do that and have such consistent deployment. That's pretty impressive. That's never missing. Pretty cool. All right, that was fun. Sorry, couldn't help myself. That is really neat. Neat pen. Thanks for sending it. Yeah, hope all of you enjoyed that, and I'll have to think about where this might fit into the collection, and or pass it on to someone else to check out. So yeah, again, Ethan, thank you very much for sending that along, and yeah, it was a fun one to check out. That's all for now. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.